Hello everyone, it's Alicia Malone. Welcome to another episode of Fandango Indie Movie Guide, coming to you this week from the streets of Austin, Texas for the South by Southwest Film Festival. And I'm sure you're all hearing about the big buzzy titles that are played here at South by, like Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron or The Disaster Artist with James Franco. But I want to walk you through some of these smaller, tiny indie titles that you should be looking out for. Free Fire has a big cast including Armie Hammer and Brie Larson, but it is an indie directed by Ben Wheatley, who did Kill List and Sightseers. This one is an action, thriller, comedy hybrid, all set in the 70s within one location of a warehouse, and it's about a gun dealing that goes horribly wrong or horribly right, as the case may be. So much fun to watch with a packed crowd. Lemon is a film that played at Sundance. I finally got to catch it here at South by Southwest. It's directed and co-written by Janixa Bravo, and it also is written, people just yelling at me from the street, also co-written by Brett Gelman, who stars in the film. This is kind of the antithesis to La La Land. It's about an actor trying to survive, trying to make it in Los Angeles, but a very, very dark look at what LA is like. Some funny moments too, a very unique vision Janixa has. She's definitely a filmmaker to put on your list of ones to watch. And I love the style. Also love the cameos by Michael Cera, and Judy Greer plays a role too, so great cast. Flesh and Blood is probably my favorite film that I've seen here at South by Southwest. It's a tiny indie. I really hope it gets distribution so that everyone can see it. It's directed by and stars Mark Webber, who you might recognize from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. But as a director, he has been making these very personal films for a while, including The End of Love, which starred his young son. This one stars his mother and his brother. It's about a man returning home to Philadelphia after being in prison and trying to rebuild his life. But more than that, it's a look at addiction, a look at poverty, and it's a look at characters that we don't normally see on screen, because many of them are actually real people talking about their actual traumatic events that have happened to them personally. It's very easy to empathize with the characters and very real and raw, and will get you right in the heart. Fits and Starts is by another female filmmaker that you should look out for, called Laura Taruso. She co-wrote Hello, My Name is Doris, and Fits and Starts is her directorial debut. She also wrote it, which is fitting because it's about writers. It's about a husband and wife who are both writers. He is struggling, she's much more successful, so it's all about that dynamic and how that plays out within a marriage. Funny, sharp, and one that I think would be perfect to watch at home. When I say the words coming of age summer film, you probably roll your eyes because that's been done to death, but I promise you, Hot Summer Nights is something unique. It is the directorial debut, you might notice a theme, by Elijah Bynum, and it has a fantastic cast including Timothée Chalamet, who I think is going to be a huge star, as well as Micah Monroe, who you would recognize from movies like It Follows. And what happens is it shows the end at the very beginning, and so the whole film you're working towards that inevitable conclusion. It's tense, it's thrilling, and it's also very truthful at the same time. So I'd love to see more from Elijah Bynum. Note down Hot Summer Nights as one to watch. Lucky is a film by another first-time director. It stars Harry Dean Stanton. It's been said that Harry's face is a landscape and not just a face. That fits so well because he's playing an aging guy who's on a sort of spiritual journey towards the end of his life. It's funny as well and features an incredible performance by David Lynch. And speaking of David Lynch, The Art Life is a documentary playing here at South by Southwest, and this is such a treat for any Lynch lover. It shows a behind-the-scenes look of his life, all told by Lynch himself, and a look at how he creates his art. So you see him with his hands in paint and putting things together, and it's so incredible to watch. He is a true artist through and through. If you are a film geek like I am, I urge you to seek out David Lynch, The Art Life. And as well as those indies, of course, look out for Edgar Wright's Baby Driver. This movie is so much fun. It's an action thriller, getaway, heist film, all set to music, choreographed to music. I'm sure it'll do very well for Edgar Wright, and it was so exciting to see it with a big crowd here in Austin. And that's it from the South by Southwest Film Festival. Thanks for coming on the streets of Austin with me, the crazy, crazy streets of Austin. Hopefully I've given you some indies to look out for. Hopefully you'll eventually get to see them, and I'll be back home next week. I'm Alicia Malone. I'll see you then.